Does anybody remember the show Boohbah, that show made by the same creators as Teletubbies? I honestly enjoyed it when I was little on ABC Kids. In fact, I'm a fan of the show. I thought it was similar to Teletubbies, so that's how I got into it. However, one last episode exists. It just haunts me whenever I mind my own business. It was a sunny day, and I was sitting at a table having a sandwich. After having it, I thought might find a never missing DVD buried around my yard. I grabbed my dad's metal detector and alerted me once I hovered near my cat's shed. I grabbed a shovel, and beneath the ground was another cardboard box. I took the box in and opened it up with scissors. Inside the box was a Boohbah DVD. It was pearly shells and more Boohbah magic. I was surprised to find a rare DVD nobody knew of, so I decided to watch it. Before I put the DVD in, I noticed a very unnerving episode title for a preschooler show: Guns. Why would they use a very mature episode title for a show for children aged 0 to 5? However, I reassured myself the episode would just have toy guns. When parents came home, my mom approved of me finding the DVD. On one rainy day, my parents were at work and my older sister was spending time with her best friend. At that moment, I realized I should watch the new DVD I found. I inserted the DVD in the warning screen, ABC DVD ident, and the ABC for Kids ident were normal. And then took me to the menu. It consisted of the Boohbahs in the pink background in the Boo Zone. The 4 episodes on the DVD were Pearly Shells, Fairground Thing, Heavy Suitcase, and Guns. I hit play all, and I enjoyed the first 3 episodes. Oh boy, the last episode was entirely messed up. After watching the first 3 episodes, there was a warning. This episode demands parents to prohibit their children from seeing this episode, as it contains graphic imagery, disturbing content, and sudden sounds. Viewer discretion is advised. This is bad, I told myself. I saw last episode for Teletubbies and I couldn't stop thinking about it. The episode started the intro. However, the sky was all blood red. Also, the child narrator said, "Boohbah," and demonic monotone. What is going on? I said, worried for a bit. At that moment, the Boohbah emerged from behind the ocean. It even flew towards two children from the UK. Instead of looking afraid of the blood-red sky, they were still excited to see the Boohbah. The Boohbah then flew to Australia, but the Australian children also didn't mind the blue-red sky. After departing Sydney, the Boohbah landed in a green hill, but for some reason blood splattered as it did. I gasped. What the hell just happened? I said to myself. All the white in the Boo Zone was all red, supposedly meant to represent blood. I was starting to feel very uneasy and nauseous, but I carried on the episode. It then zoomed into the Boohbah and showed the Boohbahs sleeping in their pods. Everything was normal. After the Boohbahs went to this dance show as ran around, the child narrator mentioned Hingba! I was confused. Who is this Hingba? I wondered. Just then a green Boohbah flew into the shot right up to the screen and stared at the camera. I'm guessing this is Hingba, I told myself. Hingba stared at the screen uncomfortably. I got chills down my spine. Just then, Hingba then walked away from the camera and performed one of the warm-up dances, Twirly Boohbah Hops. The 5 Boohbahs joined Hingba. As soon as the Boohbahs danced too fast, a river wave washed in front of them. However, after the rainbow wave disappeared, the background of the Boo Zone was all dark red. The 6 Boohbahs then sucked their heads in and flew into the sky. However, Hingba, on the other hand, didn't enjoy the Boohbahs to fly into the Boo Ball. They just flew straight up to the sky. I carried on to the present living giving segment. The children lived in the present as normal. The present wasn't medium size, but not too big. When the present went up into the Boo Ball, the present was Mother of God, a M1911. Just then the child narrator read the story people's names and orders and normals and cut to the Sky Story World segment. The M1911 was put on the grass in the fields. Just then, the Somebody's Coming theme played, but it was in reverse. Somebody's coming, the narrator said. It's a M1911, the Story World narrator said. Just then, brother and sister appeared on opposite sides. They then noticed the pistols. Brother picked up the M1911 and examined it. He was confused about what it is. He tried using the pistol for what it was meant to do, but just then he pulled the trigger, and he shot into the distance, narrowly avoiding Sister. Brother seemed interested in the M1911 and thought it might be a toy. Sister was disappointed she didn't have a pistol. Sister doesn't have a pistol. At that moment, Boohbah, said the child narrator. Once the screen froze, there was the sound of a child blowing, and Sister was given a Beretta 92. It's a Beretta 92. Sister was glad she was given a Beretta 92. She even decided to try it out as well. Sister had pointed the said pistol to Brother's leg, trying to check how the gun works. However, she suddenly pulled the trigger and shot it straight into Brother's leg. Brother then fell to the ground and he held his injured leg in pain. Ow! What was that for, sister? Brother said. I was quite surprised to hear one of the story people speak. Normally there are sound effects for the story people depending on what their emotions are, but I finally got to hear them speak for the first time. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, brother, Sister shouted in horror. I will never hurt my own brother. You both have to get rid of those things. They're too dangerous to be kept, the narrator advised. Brother and Sister tried stopping on the pistol while the narrator spoke, but suddenly Brother's M1911 was pointing diagonally up towards Sister. He accidentally shot Sister without once he stepped on it. Sister held her chest in pain. Once she moved her hand away, there was a small wound. Oh my god, I croaked. I was shocked to see a realistic wound on a character from a children's television series. Sister then collapsed to the ground, losing her breath. Sister, no! Brother screamed. Brother then held his now-deceased sister in his arms and cried softly. In fact, his sobbing sounded very real. It didn't sound very comical unlike usual cartoons. Brother is now depressed, the narrator moaned. Brother continued crying. He never wanted to hurt or harm his sister, even by accident, but he realized the one thing to avenge his sister is to beat her in the afterlife. Brother, still in tears, picked up Sister's Beretta 92 and pointed it to his mouth. I'm sorry, Brother said. He pulled the trigger and he finally shot himself. Goodbye, the narrator said sadly. Before we got to the final Boohbah segment, the children were crying over them laughing. Obviously because the story world segment was very depressing when off the scale. It finally cut to the Boohbahs again with the sixth member. This time, Boohbah is leading the dance. They were dancing commonly in the middle while the Boohbahs followed them. Boohbah performed lots of similar dances, like twirly Boohbah hops, lift your feet to the beat, be ready for lots of bouncing, stop and go, and more. However, as soon as the dance was almost over, Boohbah walked towards Zumba. Zumba got concerned about what Boohbah was going to do to him, or them. At that moment, Boohbah pulled out a hatchet and threw it in Zumba's forehead. Zumba screeched as they slowly died. Humba, Zing Zing Zingba, Jumba, and Jingba stared in shock as seeing their friend die. Hinkba then slowly turned to the four Boobas, as their eyes turned red. The four Boobas ran away from Hinkba, who turned out to be a hypocritical Booba exterminator. Jingba flew into the sky, and Hinkba followed them. Hinkba gained onto Jingba until the former grabbed the ladder by the legs. Hinkba summoned a throwing knife and stabbed Jingba in the back of the leg, killing the latter. Jingba fell to their doom as the throwing knife was stuck to the back of their leg. Zing Zing Zingba ran to the present-giving area to hide. They hid behind one of the large orbs. At that moment, Hinkba teleported in front of Zing Zing Zingba, and the former then pulled out a Mossberg 500 and shot the ladder two times. Humba was trying to break through the walls of the boo zone to escape and find a safer place to live, but Zingba suddenly flew up to them and used the flamethrower on them to burn them alive. Humba now has soot all over them, and they fell to the ground dying. Jumba was the last Booba remaining. They had the best hiding place, which is hiding behind the largest orb they could find. Just then, Hingba teleported in front of them and held it in the air by throat. Hingba finally spoke. Unlike any of the main Boobas. You 5 Boobas will mean nothing to me. I was hired by the planet Eliminator to exterminate you. I'm sorry, but things must be the way they have to be. Good riddance. Hingba's eyes go red and white, and they used heat vision on Jumba's eyes. Hingba let go of the now dead Jumba, leaving them on the ground. All the Boobas had died. Why would Hingba kill such innocent creatures? Just then the rainbow wave then washed over Hingba, and then the same Chinese was saying, Booba came back. I got chills again. Boohbah then flew to the Boohbah and hijacked it. As soon as the engine came back on in the Boohbah, it flew high to the sky, leaving a rainbow trail. The credits then played as normal, but there was no music, just the sound of the ocean. I felt very unnerved and I gritted my teeth in concern. After the credits, the Ragdoll logo played, but however the background was red, and there was a loud screeching sound when the logo's mouth was drawn. I cringed at the choice of the screeching sound. What the hell is going on? Just then, the same red-tinted ABC DVD logo from the Teletubbies DVD I discovered played, but when the DVD logo flew in, I heard a woman shrieking. The shriek scared the living crap out of me. As I cut to the DVD menu, I ejected the disc in disbelief. I called my mom about the DVD being messed up. I showed her the evidence and she believed me. We found ABC DVD of Ragdoll and the reasons were pretty much the same as the last episode of Teletubbies. I asked Mom what we should do with it, and she suggested to bury it. I didn't sleep for the entire week. I found the episode every night, and it keeps haunting me. I believe that the maker of the episode is the same man who wrote those two Lost Teletubbies episodes. You should always think before you watch a Lost DVD you find around. Take my advice.